morning, we're back at it today, just like that. So I had an interesting night last night. I sequestered myself in the cabin where it was relatively cool, boarded up the windows and whatnot. You probably saw that when it's hot out. That's my air conditioning, is putting plywood in the windows. And I stepped outside and there was smoke everywhere. It's like, what the heck? So right over there, about 20 miles the way the crow flies, there is a wildfire burning right now. Remember when I said there was a chance of rain? Well, they did take that out of the forecast. That front that came through changed the wind direction. Now it's coming from the north, and it blew that smoke right through the cabin area. So it was pretty thick last night. I couldn't even open the windows in the cabin until like 1:30 in the morning. Not a very comfortable evening for me. But hey, woe was me. Don't you feel sorry for me? Wah. Let's get working on these rafters. I have to take 2 of these to cut notches for my flown rafter. So for example, it's that very end rafter right there. You see these little, what I call flyers? That's what supports the barge board that's hanging out here. So I have to notch that end rafter right there that's above the wall. So I picked up my 2 straightest rafters. They look pretty good because the top will be attached to the ledger board and the bottom of the rafter, even the flown rafter, will be attached to the fascia down below. I only need 4 flyers. So I need 4 notches. And just like up here, I'm gonna put 2x4s sideways and that'll extend out. I don't know exactly how long those 2x4s are gonna be yet. I gotta get up on the roof and cut it and make sure everything is where I think it's gonna be before I cut those flyers. So for now, let's notch these things and then we'll get on to the next task before we put these up. So this is the top of the rafter. Here are my joist hangers. So this will sit just like that. Hug the rafter, and then this will sit flush with the bottom. So now let's attach these, because once this is on the building, this is gonna be like an inch off of the existing deck. So there's not gonna be any way to nail this nail down here into the bottom of the rafter once it's up there. So I have to do that right now. So as you probably know, these Simpson ties, they have specific size nails that go with them. You just can't put anything in there, any screw, any nail. So this one requires an HDG, hot dipped galvanized, which are what these are, either a 10D or a 16D. So 10D, 3 inches, 16D, 3.5 inches. So either one. So I have both. I think I'll use the 16 to put through this hole right here into the bottom of that rafter. Seems like a good idea to me. Just like that. Okay, first step is to take this lower section of gable trim off. Okay, we're ready to start unscrewing that roof. My goal right now is to take the first 3 rows of screws off. I have this ladder braced up right now. I have some carpet up on top just so I don't scratch up that metal edge. And I have a spare 2x8. I braced up against the beam posts right here. So that can't go anywhere. So that bottom of that ladder can't slide out. So I feel pretty good about that. I can reach the first 3 screws real easily from this ladder. And that's all I'm going to take out for now. If I have to take out more because that's not enough, I will. The first 3 bottom screws all the way over to that seam right there. The breeze is starting to pick up. It's supposed to get really windy from about 1 to 4, somewhere in there. So I'd like to get this off and cut by 1 o'clock if I can. Heck, that should be no problem. It's only 9 o'clock right now. So let's get moving. Okay, these rafters are looking great. Right now they're in exactly the position they need to be in. So I measured from the top heel cut, the cut that sits on top of the ledger board. I measured from there to the edge of the steel right here, and it's exactly 39 inches on this one and that one. So I feel good about its location. So now I'm going to drive a nail up there through the metal so I can snap a line right at my cut line. So the fact that there's a nail in there isn't going to hurt anything because it's going to be cut there. And then I'll go to the other end, snap a line, and see if I can get a good line. It's a little windy. It's about 18-foot span, and I don't want any sag in that line. So I'll double check with another rafter up there. Okay, I got the top of that ledger marked just for a reference point. Now I'm going to take all of my layers up on top and put my line 1/2 inch above where this flashing will go. So I'm going to make that line. That's going to be my crucial cut line. Okay, the breeze is starting to pick up a little bit, so I want to make sure I get this thing cut off, because right now that long end is kind of flapping around. I ended up having to take off one more row of screws. So I'm going to take this board, you see I beveled the end of it, put a little point on there so it won't get caught in anything, and I'm going to slide this above my cut line so I can lift that metal off of the deck. Then I think I'll be able to cut it easier. And I think that's it. Let's start cutting. Okay, this is not going swimmingly. Oh, Lordy. It is not wanting to cut going up a rib. So that's not fun. So I think I'm gonna take my oscillating tool, and I might just have to cut the upside of every rib. So we'll try that. Have that metal off. Like any other task in construction, once you do it for the first hour, then the second, third, and fourth hour go a lot faster. So this was kind of the same way. It probably took as long to take the first one off as it did the last three. But they're off, that's good. Got that taken care of. Before we put that ledger board up there, I want to do one more thing. Where that transition is going to inevitably be the highest risk chance of that roof leaking. So because of that, I am going to put one roll of tar paper down on the roof underneath that top section of roofing. If that's the highest risk area, I just don't see any downfall in trying to protect that area a little bit more. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to find some tar paper and roll that on. Goodness, it's windy out there. Holy cow. In one gust, I had two ladders blow over. The manger blew over. 5-gallon water bottle went careening across the driveway. And then right after that, I get an alert on my phone from the county saying there's a high wind warning this afternoon until 6 o'clock. I guess I'm off the ladder for the afternoon. Well, one thing we can do is cut that ledger board. I did take a measurement. It is 1 inch shy of 18 feet. And we have to take that from 2 different boards. So I'll probably just cut one about 10 feet and then add on the rest. Well, let's do that. Okay, this board's no good. I'm gonna go get another one. Found a better one. Okay, we're back at it. Still a bit breezy, but the wind has died down a lot. So let's get this ledger board up there. I'm gonna put up the end rafters at the same time. That way I know exactly where the ledger board has to be. Right before I put these rafters up, I marked the top where the existing rafters, where they're located. And now, since I'm fairly certain that these are square to the building, I still have to mark this beam out. 24-inch centers all the way across. Just finished up putting that ledger board up, and a gust of wind came, blew over that rafter. It hit the ground hard. It cracked the tip off, so I'm going to glue that back together so I know where the end point is up there. But also cracked the tail right there. Luckily, it's at a place where it isn't going to matter structurally, but it's really annoying. So I'm going to glue that and screw it, and I guess I'll wait to do this until I get it on top, because I have a feeling I might knock it off. It's really thin. I'm just going to glue it once I get it there. That way at least the sheathing isn't wonky when it's sitting on here. Oh, goodness gracious, what else? So to get you up to speed of what I did last night, I did end up repairing that last rafter, as you may have saw. And then I attached this one just to make sure that ledger board didn't have a bow in it. So that's all straight and ready to go. I also trimmed that ledger board back. It did not have to go all the way to the end where my flown rafter is going to be. Originally, I thought my flown rafter was going to rest on that ledger board, but I was wrong. Don't tell Karen. So I just trimmed those up. Pretty easy, no harm, no foul. That's why I kind of nail stuff down temporarily and make sure it's right where I want it to be. So it's where I want it to be right now. So now I'm just going to finish up attaching that ledger to the roof. That gets screwed into the existing joist up there. And I'm using these timber screws. These replace lag bolts. So let's finish fastening that down, and then I can keep working on the rafters. All right, let's start on this end. The white plugs go on top, if you remember. So I'm gonna set my second rafter in place, make sure the space looks good, make sure everything's lined up, and then just start nailing rafters home. Hopefully this goes a little smoother than everything else. You remember, I was just talking about things working smoothly. LOL. Oh, good Lord. All right, here's what we got going on. Yeah, my bracket right there. I got to notch the notch. What the heck? There's always something. While we're down on this end, let's go ahead and cut those flyers, those outriggers that support the flown rafters. Let's cut 4 of those, 42.5 inches. Okay, we're getting close. I just have the outriggers on that side to do. And then I have the fascia in front. And I think that's about it. The wind is starting to pick up. But I'm gonna finish this thing no matter what. I don't care if it starts hailing bowling balls. I'm gonna finish this today. That's it. The roof framing is finished. Check it out. It's a big job. A lot of little intricacies that you don't always see with new construction. That's the nature of remodeling. Well, is that what you had in mind? What do you think? It looks pretty good. I like the slope. Matches the barn pretty good, so I'm happy about that. Thank you very much for watching Life on the Moose. I really appreciate that as always. Come back next week. We're going to be working on this thing, no doubt about it. We have lots to do. The roof down here, the underside, we're going to put a ceiling on this. Got to tie in the top, all sorts of things. So I look forward to seeing your smiley, happy faces next week. In the meantime, you take care of yourself. Take care of those around you too. I'll see you soon.